Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another webinar. The last was done on Monday, and today we are having another one, same on entrepreneurship. And we hope that this webinar will benefit the target audience so that we look beyond our normal research and teaching exercises. Today we are bringing yet another very powerful professional in his field. He is no other person than Dr. Lukman Raimi. Dr. Lukman Raimi is the President, Global Academy of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. He is also a fellow of different institutes, among which include the Institute of Management Consultants and the Institute of Islamic Finance of Nigeria. He's also a mentor and judge to Tony Elumelu Foundation, which we know is known for entrepreneurship breeding and support. He is also an assistant professor at the University of Brunei, Darussalam, Brunei. He has once worked with the American University of Nigeria, and he was the former director for the Center for Entrepreneurship in that university. So this person has what it takes to discuss this very noble title to us, this topic to us. And I know he will do justice to it, just like he has done in many fora, which I have also been involved in. So Dr. Lukman Raimi, welcome to this webinar, and we wish you all the best. We thank you for coming. We thank you for yielding to our request without even paying you a dime. The distance is far, but we know your schedule is also busy, but we pray that only God can reward you, and he also will reward you immensely in wisdom, in wealth, and in health. Thank you. You have the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Alawal Aziz, for that brief introduction. So as rightly introduced, we are going to have a talk which is centered around the topic beyond research and teaching, pathways to wealth creation. So when I was invited to deliver a talk on this particular topic, I was personally excited that we are discussing topical issue, an issue that affects our and also on our future when we retire from active service. So apart from discussing this, I love the topic, and that was the reason why I created the time out of my tight schedule to be able to talk into eggheads, academics, three learning objectives. The first one is to know our financial security scorecard and reinvest our lifestyle accordingly. Then secondly, to embrace the spirit of entrepreneurialism and wealth, creation mentality as academics. And finally, to learn pathways to wealth creation for sustainable academic career in the Nigerian university system. So what we are discussing, at the end of the deliberation, we are going to make it available to people from far and near so that they will be able to digest and benefit therefrom. So for those who have joined this conversation, I want you to get a pen and a paper, because you are going to do your personal financial security check. Called financial security scorecard. If you don't know your financial security scorecard, as a lecturer, as a professor, well, your future is dangling. You need to know it. And that is why some professors, after retiring, they still beg their employer for contract appointment. Why? Because their financial security checks is very, very weak. So they can't sustain themselves, their health, and of course, commitment in retirement. So you need to know all these three things. So my presentation will follow the following format. I will problems of academics. Then we are going to do a financial security check. So that is the first strategy, to wealth creation. You can't create anything if you don't have foundation. So we need to check your foundation, how solid. Number two, we look at pay yourself first. That's another strategy we are going to learn here. I 12 years ago when I was in Yabatech, and that changed my life totally. 4, cash flow quadrants is the third strategy. The 5th one is to appreciate long-term investment, the power of long-term investment. Many lecturers started 30 years ago, 35 years ago, but if you ask them, where are your investments? What are your investments? They will just tell you, we're just, earning from hand to mouth. No, that shouldn't be, no matter how small your income is. Then we look at available investment outlets that lecturers can leverage. Number 7, we look at fixing problems. As lecturer, we should be fixing problems in the society. And by fixing problems directly and indirectly, we are going to accumulate wealth. And number 8, we are going to look at pathways, about 20 pathways that we can actually leverage to improve our wealth creation capability. Then I want to cite a number of cases of successful academics. Some of them you wonder, how do they survive? Wole Soyinka does not beg from anybody. He's not a billionaire, he's not a millionaire, but he's not a poor man. Chinua Achebe, till he died, he was not a poor man. And even at death, the net wealth of Achebe is more than what some of us who are still living have. This is power of what? Wealth creation. And finally, conclusion. So let us start with why this particular talk is imperative. So you can all read this, but most people don't like some of this information, but that is the reality. Oil revenue of Nigeria is dwindling. There are facts. Even Sanusi unveiled that fact last week in his presentation in Kaduna. And government priorities are, of course, increasing. So we may go the old way of unkept promises. That is a message to ASU and ASU member. Government has promised to do this, to do that, but the reality is that we cannot predict, what will come from oil revenue next year. It was worse, last year. This year was even worse. Next year may be something else. Ukraine war has exposed the vulnerability and weakness of Nigerian economy. You can see that in what has affected our dollar, what has affected so many things, raw materials, equipment, such that foods and the other things have become very expensive in Nigeria. That's the ripple effect of Ukraine-Russia war. And it may be worse next year because the world is actually realigning. The philosophy of things will get better in future. The future will take care of itself. And when we get to the bridge, we decide how to cross it. This is a popular saying in the academia. Don't worry, tomorrow will take care of itself. Functional effectiveness of lecturer is linked to our financial wealth and health. If we are not financially sound, your research capability, your teaching delivery capacity will be affected, and is already affecting us. Our wellness as university lecturers is threatened. Look at, so many curable diseases are actually killing some of our colleagues because the wellness is very, very poor. High blood pressure and some other things, emotional trauma and what have you. And lastly, our coping capabilities and access to resources as pensioners in future are also tied to wealth created. Whatever we create now, when we are active, will actually be the springboard that will take care of us in our retirement. So if you don't have a springboard, you won't be able to jump to the next level. So we need that as lecturers. So these are thoughts that came to my mind when I was preparing this particular lecture. So the introduction proper, if you look at our profession, we teach, we are teachers, we are lecturers, we are instructors. So generally, we impact, the society in 3 domains. We teach, and that is knowledge dissemination. We conduct research, knowledge generation, and we also engage in community engagement, which is knowledge application and adaptation. Most of us as lecturers in Nigeria, we are very active in number 1. In fact, most of our universities in Nigeria are teaching and learning university. Research comes in because then UC will come and accredit. Then when we want to get promoted, we start publishing and what have you. Why? Because of some of the things we are discussing. Then community engagement is very, very weak. Apart from serving in committees, serving in the universities, our impact in community, in the nation at large, is very, very limited because of our wealth, generating capacity and the ability. So I now say ideally lecturer as intellectual think tank for the nation, and public intellectual I expect to be paid, good salary that will take us home, that will make us comfortable. That is the default. But unfortunately, that is not what we are having in Nigeria and some other part of the world. And this is happening for several reasons, which we are not focusing today. But rather, we are focusing on how can we create wealth. We are poorly paid, yes. Even with that little salary, we can still make ourselves, a formidable force as far as teaching, researching, and conducting are contending with, poor salary currently. The future in terms of pension is not secured. Look at the graphics. In 81, look at the news. ASU may call off strike. 81, 91, 2001, now we are in 2022. The same event reinventing itself. So it has become endemic. And look at those who have retired, who are professors, who are doctors. Look at what they are suffering. They are being carried to what? Pension office to queue to get pension or to get some of their document perfected. So if you don't want to live this type of life, this is the time to plan. Poor pay, yes. Poor welfare, yes. Lack of enabling environment, yes. Insecure time, yes. But as lecturers, we are trained to fix problems. We are trained to think outside the box. We are trained to reinvent things. So we want to learn how to reinvent even that little salary to be able to take care of us. There are so many opportunities out there that we can leverage. That is the crux of this particular presentation. So number 1 strategy is what is called financial security and wealth creation. You might have attended so many seminar, talk shop. This one is different. The first strategy for a lecturer is to check your financial security. If your financial security is good, then you're on the path of wealth creation. If it's not good, then go back to the drawing board and improve. And what is financial security? Financial security simply refers to the peace of mind that people have in the absence of worries about money. Present need and future goal. That is what it means, literally. But when you apply it functionally, it extends to having enough income to comfortably cover your expenses, being debt-free, and having savings to cover basic needs and emergency. So every lecturer should have this. And if you look at even those who are well paid, some of them don't have financial security. So it is erroneous to believe that you need to be a politician, a well-paid celebrity, a multimillionaire entrepreneur to be financially secure. No, even somebody who is receiving little salary, if you learn the trick of financial security, you will not be in debt, although you may not be eating what you like, but at least you live a comfortable life. It is an art, that is, it could be learned. It is a science because you follow a particular process, a methodical process. So we should all learn this to be financially secure. If you are earning 200,000, plan your life on that particular 200,000, then explore other income streams. By the time you manage what you are getting and you build on your income stream, you become financially secure. So let's pick our biro and our pen. Let's answer these 12 questions on your own. You are not showing me. So, and how do we do it? You ask yourself question 1, are you a full-time lecturer, a part-timer, or an applicant? If you are a full-time lecturer, put yes, that's 5 points. If you're a part-timer, yeah, partial, that is 2. Then if you are still an applicant, then it is 0. Is your monthly income from current employment stable or regular? Those who are earning salary in Unilag, in American University, in Harvard, you put 5. But if you are not, getting a fixed income, then you pick partial. Then if you are not getting income at all, it is no. So do that for other questions. Then if you look at the question, there are 12. It means if you score 5 in each question, they are going to have 60 points or 60 scores. So, but because of partial and what have you, you may not have up to 60. So I want to give us 5 minutes to do this. 5 minutes. By my time, this is 10:18. So by 10:27, or let's say 10:25, let me give us our 3 minutes. It's not an exam, it's a test. So everyone should do it. So I will pause to allow you to do it. Everybody should do it. So by 10:23, I will resume my talk. So 2 minutes more. For those who have completed, you can drop your answer, maybe 60, 35, 45, drop it in the chat box for me to give you advice on what that means. We are going to see the results in the next slide, but I want to see array of scores, scores that people have. Yeah, somebody got 40. Yeah, that's good. So drop whatever you score. Because this is not a common talk shop where people talk, they will not provide. Had this opportunity more than 15 years ago, it changed my life. So I'm always very passionate to help people. Number one strategy is financial security check. Forget about others. Whatever you score, don't lie, just put it there. This is a curative, talk that will really help you a lot. Yes, somebody scored 45, that's good. Although it's not the best, you are going to see the results. What is called financial security scorecard, what it should be. And when it is not what it should be, what is the implication? And by progressing, you know how to cure this problem. Even if it is 1, put it there. If it is 12, put it there. It does not matter. So we have only 1 more minute. Okay, 1 more minute. Yeah. Somebody scored 5, no problem. So this thing will change your life. Yeah. So continue to drop your results. So this is the implication of what you have done. Financial security checklist interpretation, or what is called financial security scorecard. So if you score 60-60, it means you have what is called excellent financial security. All you need to do is sustain your current financial security. The way you manage your finances, the way you raise money, the way money comes in is very, very good. If you score 50, we call it good financial security. Improve a bit your financial security so that you'll be on 60. 60 is always the best. Look at Wole Soyinka. He doesn't beg any state governor. They come on their own to celebrate his birthday. He's not a billionaire, but he's not a poor man. And you see the reason as we progress. When he was a young lecturer, he published impactful books, poems, and today he's getting royalty. In fact, he's Nobel laureate. The financial reward that came with it runs into millions. So this is to tell you the importance of what we are discussing. 40 marks. Most people score 40. If you score 45, you are in between 40 and 50, which shows that you are above moderate. But it is 40, moderate financial security. Improve seriously on your financial security. When say something is modest, it's like you score 40, 45 in the exam. So it's better than 30. 30 is weak. 30 is weak financial security. Improve radically. You need to change your financial lifestyle. Seriously, your salary may not increase, but you must create income sources, which is the pathway we are going to learn today. 20, poor financial security. Change your poor financial security. You must change it. And 10 simply means no financial security at all. If you score 10, you don't have financial security at all. It means plan your life. Your life is dangling, It is suicide. So the next strategy is number 2. We call it pay yourself first and wealth creation. So the first one is financial health check. The second one is pay yourself first. When I say pay yourself first, what comes to the mind of many is the savings you make every month, then before the end of the month, you clear the savings again, you spend it. No, that is not what I'm talking about. Pay yourself first is a strategy, PYF, in wealth creation. It is a strategy and a wealth creation mentality for building your personal finance and retirement plan. Why? It is a discipline, financial discipline, which means that you automatically carve out a specific saving contribution every month from your salary. Immediately it is paid. Pay yourself first before paying other monthly expenses and discretionary purchases. Some of us, we buy the recharge card, we have a DSTV, we pay our student school fees, we pay our wife's allowance, we give our parents stipend. All these are good things. But for somebody who is strategic, when you collect your money, set aside certain percentage, come rain, come sunshine, you must set it aside first. It is called pay yourself first. It helps build a nest egg to secure your future and create a cushion for financial emergency, investment, and a startup fund. Some professors, some senior lecturer will be approached. Somebody has a landed property and they want to sell, and it's very cheap, 2.5 million. It's cheap, but I don't have money. Have you been, you started this type of scheme, what is copy yourself first? That money will be in in fact, if you have one account, go and open 2 accounts. The second account is for PYF. Once you get your salary, 200,000, 240, create PYF, and it's usually in percentage. You can start with 15%. That whatever is my salary, whether small or big, I must pay myself 15%. Transfer it to that particular account. It is not for birthday ceremony. It is not for pilgrimage. It is not for second or third wife. It is for you. You know, you are giving everybody money, including buying a recharge card, changing your phone. You must pay yourself first. It is different from the leftover in your account, what you call savings, that you fall back on when you don't have much money. But this one is for your own. Every month, it must be saved. And I will tell you how you utilize it as we progress. So we call it a nest egg to secure your future for purpose of taking opportunity of investment. And also, if you want to start a business, you can use that money to start a business. While lecturing, you don't have to run the business yourself. You can set it up, employ somebody to manage it, and they give you reports. So this is the second strategy. I was privileged to attend a training program in Yabatech more than 15 years ago. The person who facilitated this particular training program was the president of Chartered Institute of Brokers. He was the one that introduced us to this concept. Pay yourself first. It is not the savings you do or the leftover in your bank account. This one is, I'm the owner of this money. I've worked for government for 30 days. Before I pay all people, before I fulfill all my obligation, I'm the first person to be paid. Once you get that money, transfer it to the second account. It's for investment, it's for future. It's not for naming ceremony. It's not for buying new engine in your car. It is for your future. That is all about that. Let's go to the third one. So we are looking at strategy before the pathway. The third one is cash flow quadrant. Many people don't understand the implication of a cash flow quadrant and how to move from one quadrant to another, or how to even integrate all the quadrant. All the lecturers, all of you attending this particular talk, you are in quadrant 1 on top, called employee. And who is an employee? It simply means you have a job. You are not the owner of that job. That is the reality. Whether in US, whether in Germany, whether in Nigeria, the only difference is that what you are paid may be different. And the enabling environment may differ. But the reality is that once you are an employee, you have a job. However, if you are able to combine being an employee of government and you have what is called a job that you have created somewhere, maybe a supermarket, we call you self-employed. You work for people, but you're also self-employed. The implication of that is that you have a job. The first one is that you have a job. The second one, you own a job. And the job you own fetches you money. Now you are a lecturer. After some time, when you retire, you can leave that employment and go back to the job you have created while working. So at that point in time, you own a job. You have your freedom and you have unlimited income, no matter how small or how big. And if you're also proactive and you continue to invest, you can scale up your small businesses to become something bigger, by bringing investors, venture capitalists, or big partners, and you turn that particular self-owned job to a big company. At that point in time, we say business owner, business owner. So at this point in time, you don't have a job, you don't own a job, you own a system that works for you. We all know late Professor Ibidakpo Obe. He was a professor, a former VC, but many of us don't know him as a businessman. He's a good businessman. He has huge stake in Zenith and some other companies. For our information, because he's working for government, he cannot be, an executive director. So they made him non-executive director. He enjoys all the benefit. The only thing is that he's not involved in day-to-day running, but he attends meetings periodically, occasionally. But he gets good money. And that is why the man lived a good life till he died. He's a part of those who own a system. He works for people and he owns a system. And later on, when you own a system and you are getting so much money, you can also allow your money to work for you elsewhere, locally and internationally. You become an investor. So you can be a professor, you can be a business owner also, you can be a professor and be investors. The money you saved under strategy 2 called pay yourself first, you look for opportunity A, you own a job, or you join existing people who have a big company, become business owner, or you put it in investment. So this is how you spend, pay yourself first. After the money has accumulated for 6 months, withdraw it, put it maybe in a startup. And if you are afraid you may not be able to run that startup, put it in a viable investment in partnership with others. If you are afraid that they may mismanage the money, then put it in institutional investment. Look for, people who invest, institutional investors. Some of these big companies who collect money for you and use it for what is called pool fund, mutual fund, and whatever is due to you, periodically you'll be given. So this is how to use pay yourself first to increase your income.
We can't see your slide. The slide on quadrants.
Okay, you can't see it. Okay, let me read.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
You can't see it. Okay, let me. Okay,
you
let
can't
me
see it. I've even sent a message regarding that.
You have told me a long time ago. So can you see it now? Can you all see it now?
Yes,
can see it now.
You can see it.
Sorry for that. How about previous slide? Did you see previous slide?
Yes, the
We
previous
saw
slide
that.
was visible.
We saw
Okay,
this
okay.
previous one.
Okay, this is third one. You can see it now. Okay. So let's move to the, why do you need multiple income sources? These are the reasons. Because of time, I want to leave this area to go to the pathway. So the fourth one is what is called the power of long-term investment. If you invest, I will still cite the case of Ibida Kobe. Most of us never need to be a silent investor. He invested so much, and that fetched him a lot of fortune in his old age. So if you start investment early, for 25 years, look at what investment will give you. If you invest $250, after 25 years at 4%, you get 88K. But look at $2,000. If you invest $2,000 at 4%, you get this, 701. But look at the extreme. If you invest 2,000 and into something that will give you 14%, you get 2.77. That is $2,777 million. But look at somebody that invested $3,500 for 25 years. Look at the age of most professors. By the time you are retiring, if you invest 3,500 at 14%, look at what you are going to get, 4.85 million. So this is the power of investment. When you invest on a long term, you get this type of result. Some people bought shares in big companies at 2 kobo when they were working in railway. But after retiring, after so many years, these 2 kobo became 75 naira. Look at the capital gain. Look at the dividend. The dividend will increase, then the capital gain will also increase. Capital gain simply means if I want to sell that shares that I bought 20 years ago, you are going to get huge amount of money running into millions. So this is why you need to start investing, buying shares of good companies without looking back. Continue to buy. Tell your stockbroker to get you very good shares of good company, promising company. Dangote is doing fine, and some other company. Just every month, put certain amount of money, 50,000, 30,000. Don't look back and let them manage it for you. After 20, 30 years, in fact, you'll be surprised at what you are going to get. So this is what people like Ibida Kobe, Pat Utomi, and what have you, this is what they have done. These are other investment opportunities. Agriculture is doing well, precious metal, real estate, buying shares, bond, sukuk, investment in companies that are just coming up, startups, they will become scale up, mutual fund, ethical investment, publishing and authorship. All these are things. Oil and gas is also good. And some professors came together to set up polytechnics, universities, and they are smiling. You can also form investment club, cooperative society to go into so many areas, and you continue to live well instead of looking towards government most of the time. So the final strategy is what is called fixing problems. In academic entrepreneurship, today, people believe that lecturers should only teach. No. We teach, we conduct research. What we call community engagement, that is where our academic entrepreneurship is. We must fix problems on campus and outside campus. And there are so many problems, socioeconomic and environmental problems outside the campus. So as lecturers, we should see ourselves as academic entrepreneurs. We are fixing problems. And that's why Deshpande is a social entrepreneur and also a policymaker in US. He said there are 3 types of people in the world. People who are obvious to everything. People who see a problem and complain. And people who see a problem and get excited to fix it. And that is the role of university lecturer under community engagement. If you're in sciences, cholera epidemic, it's your responsibility to conduct research and fix it. Get grants. From that grant, you solve that problem. By solving that problem, you may develop something that will become intellectual property that World Health Organization may, buy from you, and you become rich. If you're an engineer, you may develop, certain software, hardware that may solve problems in the industry, and you get paid. You can even turn it to novel invention, get it patented, and if you're not interested in turning to a business, sell it to those who are going to commercialize it. Therefore, university lecturers should be in the third category by virtue of our training. Community engagement is our knowledge adaptation and CSR. Wherever everyone sees ambiguities and crises, the university lecturer should see opportunities. So don't let us look at community engagement as serving in committee, panel, and what have you. No, it goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. We call it fixing problem. And when you fix problem, you are practicing academic entrepreneurship, which may turn to wealth for you in future. So these are strategies, and strategies by their nature are broad. We need to break it down, so we need to go to pathway. So before going to pathway, I want to quote Sun Tzu, who is one of my favorite legend. I read his book a lot. He says, strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. So if you want to be victorious over poverty, poor financial health, and you don't have strategy, you get there, but it will be very, very slow. So because you have a strategy, but you don't have tactics. Tactics, on the other hand, when you have tactics without strategy, it's just noise before defeat. So if you have tactics and that tactics is not driven by strategy, then you are going to lose the battle. So read that quote again. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy are the noise before defeat. So we have listened to strategy. Let us look at the tactics. So tactics, these are the tactics. And these tactics are based on what people have done, what we have read in entrepreneurship, and the things that our predecessors who are successful in academia have actually used. I will recommend about 3 articles for you with their references. You can read them. These are realities. Number 1, investment literacy and financial independence. Explain this. This study and financial independence, which I've done, and you can do more by reading, attending training and seminar. The second one, which also, the second one is whatever is left in your account, when you pay other bills, you need left over for emergency. So that one is financial discipline. Third one is the pay yourself plan, which I've mentioned. We pay virtually everybody DSTV subscription, phone bill, internet, electricity, gas, school fees, allowance to wife, kids, in-law, but forget to pay ourselves. That is the third one. Then the fourth one, on campus, instead of going to joints where people drink pepper soup or take pami or beer, create investment club on campus. And what is investment club? Academics should sit down in investment club where they discuss how they make subscription every month. 30,000, 20,000, you put it together, then agree. This month we have put together 3.5. What do we do with 3.5? Because if you have 50 persons in that club and each person contribute 30,000 naira, 30,000 times 50 is 1.5. And if you have 100, 30,000 times 100, that's 3 million. So you can do something constructively on campus or outside campus for your life. This is what is called investment club. And if you want to be disciplined, you can keep that 3 million for 9 months. State, oil and gas, and what have you. I belong to 2 investment clubs in Nigeria. The money in your pay yourself first, you can use it to start a business. We call it investment in startup. People have done this For those who are in entrepreneurship, you must have heard of Professor Henry Samueli. So Professor Henry Samueli is a vibrant scholar. So he told his doctoral student, Henry Nicholas, that let us form a small company. So they call it Broadcom Corporation with an initial investment of $5,000 each. So it was founded in 1991 with $10,000. The company today has grown to become a Fortune 500 company with over 14,000 employees and a market capitalization of 100 billion. The question is, Unilag has business school and they teach people business plan and people pitch fantastic business idea. Why don't we ask our MBA students who are captains of industry, let us form a big company on campus and later on we'll move it outside campus. It's possible. And that's exactly what Broadcom Corporation did. A professor moved that idea and it worked. If you have read about Professor Steve Blank, he's a professor of entrepreneurship and he owns so many businesses. So whenever it's pitch business, he's going to give them money to turn it to a startup. Then later on, they pitch to Silicon Valley and turn it to a big business. So let's start doing that on campus and turn our campus to factories. Licensing, invention, and innovation. As lecturers in engineering, in computer, and what have you, our research, has the power of becoming, invention and innovative discovery. We can get this patented, and when we patent it, let us pitch to the industry. Let us pitch to Shell. Let us pitch to big company, Dangote, to take some of our invention and turn them to companies, and turn them to startups, and turn them to so many things that will benefit the society. So people like Robert Langer, a professor in MIT, read from commercial and economic capacity of his 1,000 patent and invention. So most of us have patentable ideas in our journals, in our articles, but they gather dust. We don't really commercialize them. If you don't know how to commercialize them, move, with people who can help you. Chamber of Commerce, but we need to do this so that we products, models, services, processes, and business solutions because of their economic potentials. Look at so many people in agri. Look at so many people in computer. Look at so many people in sciences. So we can turn some of these things into something that has market value. So if you're able to do that, then it becomes a spin-off. A spin-off are companies, business organizations that actually emerge out of existing company or existing idea or existing research. So this is what we can do to actually improve our economic fortune. Another one is consultancy. I do this a lot. Our knowledge, skills, and ability, which we call KSA, as academician, are being sought in the industry. So you can monetize it by becoming consultant, partners in consulting firm, expert advisor to government, to so many people, within our area of proficiency. So one of the richest lecturer in the world and a consultant in US, Dr. Dean Takahashi, he was valued at $2.6 million in 2014. Why? His consultancy. You can do a lot of consultancy. At least I know some lecturers in Unilag who live comfortably and they make a lot of money through consultancy. Authorship. Our skills and dexterity in writing can be commercialized through publishing books and learning resources. I'm not talking about handout that we sell on campus. I'm talking about quality books, books that will fetch you fortune. The earning can come from royalty, revenue from a number of resources sold. Even as a professor in Nigeria, if you write a very good books, your colleagues can celebrate you if you launch it in Mozon Center, they can fund it for you, and you can make a lot, take care of you in return. But don't let us be in a hurry to write books. Write fantastic book. So your past student, your former student, your colleagues, people in your church, in your mosques will come and buy that books. You'll be getting money and also impact. And after that, you can give your copyright to an international publisher to publish it and then sell it to global community. So your current employment earning, you can also make fortune from it. You know, there are some people, they get good salary because they work in good university. That money itself can be used to take care of yourself in future. There are some lecturers who are heavily paid because apart from working for the university, they attract grants to the university. So they make more money, you know, than other lecturers. Why? Because they are valuable. They are super lecturers. They are teaching, but they are attracting big grants. There are two types of grants: research grants and project grants. Research grants, you can't really make money from that because it's tied to that research. But project grants, you'll be spending a lot of money, honorarium for you, traveling, you buy, you know, utility vehicle to carry out your your project. And wherever you go, they pay your hotel accommodation and what have you. So there are some university lecturers like that who make fortune from their employment earnings and the other perks that are associated to that. And also under employment earning, you may also be working in Nigeria and then probably a visiting lecturer in Tokyo. You will be paid in dollars, and that's a lot of money. Speaking engagement, you can also speak at international gathering. You can speak, you know, business gathering, social group, and you'll be paid honorarium. Some people get that 5 times in a month, and what they get is more than their salary. Imagine talking somewhere in Tokyo and you're giving $1,500 for a talk. And you talk somewhere in Lekki for a big company and you're giving $250,000, and you have that twice a month. That's 500,000, which is higher than what a lecturer gets. Other sources of income that you can also get, like international position, political appointment, adjoint abroad. Before I left Nigeria, I was given a visiting appointment in my current university. Just for 6 months, I was paid $5,000. You know, multiply that by existing rate, it's a lot of money. And so many appointments of boards of companies, sabbatical appointments, and also some other things. You know, if you are very hard, you can win a Nobel laureate like Wole Soyinka, win awards like Chinua Achebe, and attract a lot of grants with big honorariums. So all these are things that I've actually documented. To make it more, you know, interactive, look at late Ibida Kobe. I know about him. I've studied him closely. He's not a professor that is desperate, very calm, cool-headed, and you don't see him in scandal because he has financial security. He invested heavily in shares many years ago when they were cheap, you know. Till death, he sat on the board of the following companies: non-executive director of Zenith, you know, Zenith Bank, Charms PLC, Prudence Zenith Life Insurance, and consultant to so many corporate organizations. And he was a former vice chancellor with outstanding achievement, no scandal, because he's a rich man, but quiet. He's a top-notch lecturer, top-notch administrator, top-notch investors. So he's not just non-executive director, he owns big shares in this company. So this is a lecturer in system engineering and educational administration, yet he makes money from this corporate body. Wole Soyinka invested heavily in writing books, poems, and novels when he was young, and it paid off. Wole Soyinka, one of the greatest playwrights from Africa, with a network of $2 million US, according to multiple sources, including New York Times. So just to tell you, that is why he doesn't beg any public, but he travels abroad, pays his bill, although people are taking care of him, state governor, but he's not a poor professor, and he's not looking for a job. not looking for political appointment. So even the Swedish Academy gave him a monetary award of $290,000 in 1986. That is the monetary value that came with the Nobel laureate. Multiply by the exchange rate, then it's a lot of money. And he's an old man. He doesn't eat much. So in his retirement, he's able to take care of himself. Look at him, even at 80-something, he's not using walking stick, and he's not begging anybody, but living a good life. Why? Because he followed the principles that we have actually, outlined. Ditto for Chinua Achebe. He invested heavily in writing quality books, poems, short stories, and novels. Wrote 44 books, with Things Fall Apart, the most popular, which sold 12 million copies in 50 languages. Net worth at dead $1.1 million. So that is why Chinua Achebe does not go to government for patronage. When he was given national award, he turned it down. I don't need it. I'm already popular. I don't believe in what you are doing. We need to make Nigeria better for everybody. So I'm not a poor man. I'm not a pauper. Keep your national, honors. Pat Utomi is an active academia, business, is also active in business, industry, and politics, including media. He has authored several strategic books. He doesn't write anyhow, but he wrote strategic books. He's on the board of Lagos Chamber of Commerce, on the board of National Council of Manufacturers Association, on the board of Employee Consulting Association. His net worth, according to many sources, is worth more than $150 million, not Naira. And he's a professor of social and political economy, environment, and business and entrepreneur at Lagos Business School. You can see his portfolio: academic, policy making, politics, media, and we all know Patito's gang when he was organizing that particular think tank program on television. It was a beehive of intellectuals in Nigeria, and that endeared him to so many politicians, including Tinubu. They all consult him on strategic ideas. So he's not a poor man, and he's a lecturer. Finally, we all know Professor Ndubuisi Ekekwe. He's a professor. He's also an inventor, an engineer, author. He's also a blogger. For those of you who follow him on LinkedIn, he writes every day on topical issue, politics, economy, robotics, so many things, even economics. Founder of First Atlantic Semiconductor and Microelectronics. Is a leading company in Africa. So he's making money in academics, making money in industry. He developed innovative microchips and invented a microcontroller for media robot in US. He's a co-chairman of JPL Financial Group in California, US. Board member of Tony Elumelu Foundation, and is a lead faculty in Tekedia Institute, where he runs mini MBA. The question is, a professor of system engineer, why is he teaching MBA? The man is all-rounder because he's also a trained faculty in Harvard. He writes for Harvard Review. And before you can write for Harvard Business Review, you must be somebody who is very, very sound. So he read engineering, but engineering management. So it's very, very versatile in robotics, IoT, name it. And currently, professor of engineering in Carnegie Mellon University, and also a visiting professor in Bangkok University, Nigeria. So if you look at some of the things we discussed, they are very, very visible in the lives of these people. So I want to recommend these materials for you. The Simple Path to Wealth. You can read that article, lengthy article in LinkedIn. Very fantastic. Number 2 is in LinkedIn. Number 1 is a book. Then number 3 is an article. When you read these 3 materials, in addition to what we have learned, is going to help you a lot. I'm talking to academia, so I don't have to be too comprehensive. So let me conclude with this quote. The world is made of 3 days: yesterday, tomorrow, and today. As for yesterday, it has vanished along with all that was in it. As for tomorrow, you may never see it. As for today, it is yours. So walk in it. So this particular quote is from an Arab philosopher. So the emphasis is that we should think more about today, because today will take care of tomorrow. Today will take care of tomorrow. Let us imbibe the mentality of wealth creation, and let's move towards entrepreneurialism, while we teach, while we conduct research, and while we engage in community development. So thank you for your rapt attention.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
We cannot ask for more. This is very, very comprehensive, and we thank you for the job well done. This cannot come at any better time, because as academics, we know our salary is below the bar in Nigeria. ASU is agitating for that, and we hope that it will be successful. But nevertheless, all this is put into cognizance. We will not be speaking in the same language. Thank you, Doctor. We did not pay you any honorarium, but we know God in his infinite mercy will pay you beyond what we can pay you. Let's use the next 5 minutes to ask our participants to give comments, questions, or add to what Doctor has said. We'll use the next 5 minutes to do that. Thank you. Participants, please. You can unmute yourself or type in the chat box so that Dr. Lukman Raimi can do justice, and we give him the rest of the day to attend to his private and academic life. Thank you.
Hello. Alaikum. Hello.
Alaikum salam. You are on floor. Please continue.
Yeah, please.
Okay, my name is Dr. Said Sanusi. Yeah, I want to commend our prof in the house for the gift he has given us this morning. Is well appreciated and is timely based on those of us in academic what we are currently facing in Nigeria. This thing is, I hope we will all be able to put this in place. That is better said. We should all be motivated that as we have called off the strike now, let's begin to prioritize based on what we have been given this morning. Otherwise, it will just frizzle out. We need to put it into practice. We need to be pragmatic about it. And I believe if we do that, the sky will just be the starting point for every one of us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes.
This
is an insightful presentation. We want to say Jazakumullah khairan to Dr. Lukman. And even if we are not told before, experience has shown that what our brother has given us is a good fish that we must not allow to slip away from our hand, especially
Hello.
Can we have other people before we call it a day?
Okay, I will respond
Hello?
at the right time.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
I will respond
Did
at
you
the
get
last.
me?
All right. Thank you.
I will respond. I will respond.
Okay. The names of the business clubs that we can join. Can you just give us so that we can
Beyond
work on them?
Okay, first and foremost, some people set up investment club, which is exclusive Investment Club. So we actually founded it in Unilag. For those of you who know Professor Adeleke in Department of Actuarial Science, is the second president after me. So the investment club is still working. Link Professor Adeleke in Unilag, Department of Actuarial Science, you can join. So we've created it as a private investment club among ourselves. We are more than 40, it's more than 12 years old, and we are all benefiting therefore. So it's open. The other one is exclusive. A number of people created it, and we created it for a purpose to form a company already, and the company is moving on with more than 100 million investment. So that one you can't join because it's already a business. It's into plastic waste recycling. So my argument is, wherever you are in Kwara, in Ibadan Poly, you can gather yourself, 25%, set up investment club. If you need training, if you need the manual, I can give you free of charge. I've created that club for so many people. We developed the manual from A here, which you how to form one wherever you find yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Please,
thank you,
sir,
Prof.
can you share your email address with us?
Okay, I can. Let me just type it. My personal email address.
Okay,
All right,
thank
sir.
you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
So, Prof, thank you very much. I think this is how it will end. We don't have so much time to
okay, that's my
here.
email. So we
Okay.
can,
Okay,
we
sir.
can
Okay, sir.
discuss.
I'll check now.
And,
All right.
for the
Thank
slide,
you.
the organizer will make it available to everybody.
Okay.
Please, Prof, can you do us a favor?
Okay. I'm showing it.
Okay, participants, please send in your emails to the chat box so that we can send you the slides and the video. Then we can also send you the link for our YouTube for the previous and future webinars.
Done.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Prof, we thank you for coming.
Let's have a group photograph. It's good to have this.
Okay.
Why don't you let's have a group photograph and then open your camera.
Please, can you just show your video so that we can have it?
You can even put it on your LinkedIn and for the organizer so that you draw people to your event with past, you know.
Thank you.
Good.
But Prof, can you do it from your end?
Yeah, I've already taken a snap.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I'll share it in my LinkedIn. So it's nice talking to everybody.
It's
Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Professor,
Thank you, sir.
Prof,
my regards to
good
Prof.
to see you again.
Thank you,
It's my
sir.
pleasure. Yeah.
It's a pleasure from here, Prof. Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate your time.
My
May
pleasure.
Allah reward you abundantly. Participants, thank you for coming. Please send your email so that we can send the video and the slides as promised.
Bye, everyone.
No, it's already on this line.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's already there.
No, it's not his own now. Our own is the one that is asking.
Those are not sent. Please send before I end the video. Thank you.
Okay.
Ah, Jesus.
I'll give you 2 minutes to do that, please, so that you can enjoy videos of previous webinars and future ones if you so wish, and the present one as well. Thank you for your time. We cannot take it more than this.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. All right, it's a pleasure. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.